And this past holiday weekend, though, not so enjoyable for hundreds of people indicted by the Department of Justice, charged with illegally using funds that from the CARES Act.
In March 2020, Congress passed a $2.2 trillion economic relief bill known as the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, designed to provide emergency financial assistance to the millions of Americans who are suffering the economic effects caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
The $100 billion fraud investigation continues. For that, we'll bring in Newsmax correspondent Sarah Williamson with more.
Hi, I'm Allison Baver, Olympic medalist, model, and trainer.
And accused COVID relief scammer. When the Associated Press put out a report that at least $100 billion has been stolen from COVID-19 relief programs, it did little justice to the colourful assortment of characters allegedly behind the big number. Like Olympic speed skater Allison Baver, who later auditioned for reality TV.
I would love to team up with The Biggest Loser.
She was just charged with 9 federal criminal counts related to making false statements on loan applications for the pandemic-era Paycheck Protection Program. Then there's former Jets wide receiver Kenbrell Tompkins. The feds say he stole the identities of Florida residents to pay for COVID unemployment benefits. He pled guilty to a count of identity fraud and another count of unauthorized access device fraud for using the cash under false pretenses on credit cards, according to the Associated Press. And check these guys out. A group of 8 young men from Brooklyn were accused of stealing $2 million in COVID funds and then making it rain with wads of cash in social media pics. The Department of Justice is using the photos as evidence against them in a case claiming they got the money by filing fraudulent COVID-related unemployment claims. Sarah Williamson, Newsmax, New York.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Meanwhile, joining us now to discuss is a Marine business owner and Republican candidate for Congress from Arizona. That is Kelly Cooper. Ms. Cooper, good to see you, and thank you so much for coming on. First, your reaction there, as we've seen, and those are just, again, just anecdotal of the many that we've seen, but those reportedly stealing from those PPP loans. You remember those? Those are for people like yourself who needed that money during the pandemic.
I sure do. To me, this is an example of, big government just getting in its own way. In my view, these are the things that need to be taken back to the small government level. Our local communities know best where to distribute this money, and I'd love to see as the conservative representative in Congress pushing back on this federalization and making sure that we have some local control again. And
that's exactly what you're trying to do, as I understand. And we mentioned this earlier during the beginning. You are a Marine business owner as well. Tell me about your campaign. You're a business owner, you're a Marine. Why get involved with politics?
So I'm trying to build a coalition of Arizonans that are fed up. They're tired of seeing all the despicable acts from this current administration and the capitulation of our current representative, Greg Stanton. I built 2 restaurants here in the district and 1 more in the state. I've had 5 total restaurants, and we worked really hard to get to a point where we could survive. And I looked around and I found out that none of our politicians cared about us. So I decided that it was time for me to make a stand. So my wife and I both volunteer. We put our children in public charter school, as referencing our previous conversation about public education. My businesses are racked with trouble from the inflation from our economy today. And I looked around and said it was time. It's time for me to stand up and do something different. So I would say that it's our job to stand up and put some honor and integrity back in. As a Marine, my backbone and my stance for you is going to cover the whole thing. And I would also like to say that, they don't know you. They don't know where you live. They don't know how you live. They live in an ivory tower, and they vote from their yachts. So I need your help. I need you to go to kellycooperarizona.com, and I need you to contribute.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.